Hey everyone, today's topic is critical for anyone navigating the dating world because it can save you from a lot of heartache and emotional turmoil. We're going to discuss the types of women you should be cautious about because, trust me, they can hurt you. Relationships can be incredibly rewarding, bringing joy, companionship, and love into our lives. However, they can also be challenging and at times even damaging if you're not careful. It's essential to recognize certain behaviors and patterns that can lead to emotional distress, manipulation, or even heartbreak. If you've ever felt confused, drained, or emotionally exhausted in a relationship, this video is specifically for you. I want to help you navigate the dating scene more safely and effectively. So, grab a notebook and a pen, because I'm going to share some important insights and strategies that might just change how you approach dating. Let's get started. Type 1. The manipulator. First up, we have the manipulator. This type often employs psychological tactics to control or influence you for their benefit. Manipulators can be charming and persuasive, making it difficult to see their true intentions at first. Warning signs. Shifting blame. One of the most common tactics used by manipulators is shifting blame. They will often twist situations to make you feel responsible for their emotions. For example, if you express your feelings about a situation, they might say something like, "If you really loved me, you wouldn't act this way," or "You're being unreasonable." This not only puts the onus on you to change your behavior to make them happy, but it also creates an unhealthy dynamic where you feel like you are constantly walking on eggshells. Gaslighting. This is perhaps one of the most insidious forms of manipulation. Gaslighting occurs when they make you doubt your own perceptions, feelings, or memory. You might find yourself questioning your own reality because they constantly challenge your version of events. For instance, they may say things like, "You're overreacting," or "That never happened," making you feel like you're losing your mind. Over time, this can lead to significant self-doubt and confusion, affecting your self-esteem and mental health. Creating drama. Manipulators thrive on chaos and often create conflicts to keep you off balance. You might notice them bringing up old arguments or stirring up issues that had already been resolved, making it difficult for you to move forward in the relationship. This creates a cycle of drama that can be exhausting to deal with. They may even create scenarios that put you in a position where you have to defend yourself, further deflecting attention away from their manipulative behavior. Let me share a story. A close friend of mine dated someone who would constantly twist his words and make him feel guilty for expressing his feelings. For instance, if he mentioned feeling overwhelmed or stressed about work, she would respond with, "You're being selfish. I'm the one who's really struggling here." Over time, he started doubting his own thoughts and feelings. He would often question whether he was being overly sensitive or unreasonable, which made him feel isolated and frustrated. It took him a while to realize he was being manipulated and that he deserved better than this toxic relationship. If you find yourself feeling confused or doubting your perceptions, it's time to reevaluate the relationship. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Consider talking to a trusted friend or a therapist to gain perspective on the situation. Remember, a healthy relationship should uplift you, not drain you. Setting boundaries and asserting your needs is crucial in these situations. You have the right to express your feelings without fear of backlash or manipulation. Type 2. The drama queen. Next is the drama queen. This type thrives on chaos and often loves being the center of attention. While a little drama can be entertaining in life, a relationship filled with constant emotional upheaval can be exhausting. Warning signs. Frequent emotional crises. Drama. Queens often have emotional outbursts over small things, turning minor disagreements into major conflicts. For example, if you forget to text her when you're running late, she might explode, accusing you of not caring about her. This can lead to drawn-out arguments that seem disproportionate to the issue at hand. You might find yourself spending more time managing her emotional crises than enjoying your time together. Exaggerated responses. When something goes wrong, their reactions can be over the top, almost theatrical. You might find yourself thinking, is this really necessary? It can feel like you're living in a soap opera rather than a relationship. If she cries uncontrollably over a minor issue or makes wild accusations, it can leave you feeling helpless and overwhelmed. This behavior can create a sense of instability in the relationship as you're constantly unsure of how she will react. Attention-seeking behavior. They often seek attention and validation from others, whether it's through social media posts, dramatic stories about their life, or creating situations that require your immediate attention. This constant need for validation can make you feel like you're competing for her focus, which can be incredibly draining. I once knew someone who would turn every little disagreement into a full-blown argument. If her partner didn't agree with her on a trivial matter, it would escalate to a fight that lasted for days. For example, if he wanted to watch a different TV show, she might throw a fit and accuse him of not valuing her preferences. It was exhausting, and her partner often felt like he was walking on eggshells, never knowing when the next explosion would happen. Eventually, he realized that this cycle of drama was taking a toll on his mental health. If you find yourself constantly caught up in unnecessary drama, it might be time to step back. Reflect on whether this relationship brings more joy or stress to your life. Consider having an open conversation about your feelings. If she's unwilling to listen or change, it might be time to reconsider the relationship. Remember, it's okay to prioritize your mental health. Setting emotional boundaries can be incredibly liberating, allowing you to engage in healthier relationships. Type 3. The commitment phobe. Now, let's talk about the commitment phobe. This type is scared of serious relationships and tends to keep things casual. Warning signs. Reluctance to define the relationship. If you've been dating for a while but haven't had a conversation about becoming exclusive, that's a red flag. Commitment phobes often avoid talking about the future and might say things like, "I'm just enjoying the moment," or "let's not rush things." This can leave you feeling unsettled and uncertain about the future of the relationship. Inconsistent communication. They may go from being super affectionate one week to distant and evasive the next. This inconsistency can leave you feeling confused and unvalued. You might find yourself constantly guessing where you stand in their life, which can be incredibly frustrating and disheartening. Fear of intimacy. Commitment phobes often struggle with vulnerability and may push you away when things start to get serious. They might avoid deep conversations about feelings or future plans, creating a barrier that prevents genuine connection. If you notice them pulling back when you try to get closer, it's a sign they might be scared of commitment. A friend of mine dated someone who would always backtrack whenever they discussed their future together. Whenever he brought up the idea of moving in together or meeting each other's families, she would change the subject or make jokes, which left him feeling unfulfilled and confused about where they stood. It felt like he was on a roller coaster with no end in sight, filled with ups and downs, but no sense of direction. Pay attention to how your partner talks about the future. If they avoid the subject or make you feel like you're asking for too much, it might be a red flag. Open communication is essential. Don't be afraid to express your desire for clarity in the relationship. If they continue to dodge the issue, you may want to reconsider your investment in that relationship. Remember, you deserve someone who is excited about building a future with you and who is willing to engage in meaningful conversations about your relationship. Type 4. The clingy partner. Next, we have the clingy partner. This woman often has an excessive need for reassurance and may struggle with boundaries. Warning signs: constantly checking in. She might text you repeatedly throughout the day, asking where you are or who you're with. While it's normal to check in, excessive messages can feel suffocating. You might feel pressured to respond immediately, even when you're busy or need time to yourself. This kind of behavior can create a sense of obligation rather than comfort. Monitoring your whereabouts. If she gets upset when you spend time with friends or pursue hobbies, it can indicate clinginess. It's important to have a sense of independence in any relationship. You should both feel free to have your own lives outside of the relationship without guilt. If she often reacts negatively to your social plans, it could be a sign that she is struggling with insecurity. Low self-esteem. Often, clinginess stems from insecurity. If she frequently seeks validation and reassurance from you, it can create an unbalanced dynamic where she relies on you for her self-worth. This can lead to feelings of pressure on your end, as you may feel responsible for her happiness. I've seen relationships where one partner felt suffocated by the other's neediness. One friend couldn't even go out for a casual drink with friends without receiving multiple texts asking when he'd be home. This led to resentment and strain in the relationship, as he felt his independence was being compromised. Eventually, he realized he needed more space and time for himself, but it was a difficult conversation to have. Healthy relationships require space. If you feel smothered, it's crucial to have a conversation about boundaries. Explain that while you care about her, you also need your own time and space to recharge. A good partner will understand and respect your needs. If the clinginess doesn't improve after discussing it, you may need to reassess if this relationship is right for you. Remember, mutual respect and independence are key elements of a healthy relationship. Type 5. The player. Finally, let's talk about the player. This type is often charming but emotionally unavailable, seeking multiple partners. Warning signs: excessive flattery. They might shower you with compliments that feel too good to be true. While it's nice to be appreciated, if it feels insincere, it probably is. You might notice they say the same things to others, making you question their authenticity. If their compliments seem rehearsed or overly generic, it's a sign they might be trying to charm you without genuine interest. Short-lived relationships. If you notice a pattern of them jumping from one person to another without any depth, it's a sign they might not be looking for anything serious. They might keep things light and fun, but avoid deeper conversations about feelings or future plans. If every conversation seems to skirt around actual commitment, that's a potential red flag. Avoidance of labels. Players often shy away from labeling the relationship. If you find yourself asking them to define what you have and they respond with evasive answers or change the subject, that's a big red flag. They might say things like, "Let's just see where this goes," or "I don't want to put any pressure on us." I once met someone who got swept off her feet by a guy who seemed perfect at first. He was charming, attentive, and romantic, but eventually she discovered he was juggling several women at once. The heartbreak was real when she found out the truth. She felt betrayed and realized he had never been honest about his intentions, which left her feeling used and heartbroken. It took her a long time to rebuild her trust in others after that experience. Trust your instincts. If someone feels too good to be true, take a closer look. Ask questions about their past relationships and be wary of someone who avoids talking about their dating history. If they seem secretive about their romantic past, it could be a sign that they're not fully invested in you. Remember, you deserve someone who is committed, honest, and emotionally available. Now that we've covered these types, let's talk about some practical tips to protect yourself. 1. Set boundaries. Establish what you will and won't accept in a relationship. Clear boundaries help both partners understand each other's needs and expectations. Don't be afraid to communicate your limits. This is essential for a healthy relationship. Setting boundaries is not just about saying no to negative behaviors. It's also about creating a space where both partners feel safe and respected. 2. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't ignore that feeling. Our gut often knows more than we realize. If you sense something is wrong, take the time to investigate your feelings and the situation. Talk to friends or a therapist if you need to process your thoughts. Sometimes an outside perspective can shed light on what you may be missing. 3. Communicate openly. Have honest discussions about your feelings and expectations. A healthy relationship is built on open communication, where both partners feel safe to express themselves. Be direct about your needs and listen to your partner's concerns as well. This can prevent misunderstandings and build trust between you. Remember, it's okay to have tough conversations. They can lead to deeper understanding and connection. Remember, awareness is your best defense. By recognizing these types of women early on, you can avoid unnecessary heartache. If you've had experiences with any of these types, I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. Sharing your experiences can help others who might be going through similar situations, creating a supportive community where we can learn from each other. Don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to Stoic Lord, and hit that notification bell for more relationship insights. I really appreciate your support, and I'm excited to keep growing this community together. Thanks for watching and take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there in the dating world, and remember, you deserve a healthy, fulfilling relationship.